Burrow. He already tweeted out that, not going to get rid of me that easily. We'll see you next year. So conclusion is he's looking at surgery and out the rest of the year. Do you have any other information you can impart?
No, I really don't. I don't have any final update yet. So.
And you had a very impassioned reaction on the sideline with your football team after that took place. I know that's between you and your football team, but can you give us any idea of the type of thing you were trying to impart to it?
No, just we need to come out with some emotion. That's an injury right there that to a team leader that can take the wind out of your sails. And we want to try to recapture some energy that we had going into halftime, after that moment. And unfortunately, they went down and scored a touchdown. Then we had a 3-and-out, so we didn't get that done.
Zach, did you sense a change in body language and energy after Joe Burrow exited the field?
No.
Are you bracing for a season-ending injury? He looked pretty distraught after he was injured. What do you know?
He was certainly in pain. So we'll just wait to get a final update before I make any guesses.
Zach, is he staying in Baltimore, or is he going to fly back with you guys?
I don't yet know. I got off the field and talked to the team, and I'll get that information after this.
What did you see in that 3rd and 2 play from your vantage point?
Probably the toughest view that I've got, down there in the backed up area. That's the worst view I got on the field. So I really can't say.
Zach, this is kind of an obvious question, but just how difficult is it to see a guy that you waited so long to be the future of the franchise, the starting quarterback this year, and see him go down with this kind of an injury in week 10?
It's not fun. Yeah, it's not fun. He was making improvements every week, and we were getting the offense headed in a direction that we thought was exciting. And really felt like in that first half, we missed some opportunities for points. It was unbelievable. We felt like we were doing a great job moving the ball and only came away with 9 points somehow. And, felt really good coming out of the second half. And then to lose your quarterback is tough, but that's the way it goes, and next man up, and Finley came up, and we got to help him. And I got to put him in some better situations there to give him some confidence going early. And we just didn't get it done all the way around.
How much of your game plan was altered when, Joe goes down and Ryan with the limited snaps that he's had with the number ones? I mean, how much of your game plan becomes, moot at that point?
Well, Ryan's always done a good job preparing himself. And, the life as a backup quarterback in this league is you don't get reps on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You got to find a way to simulate your own reps in the scout team and off the side during special teams. And Finley's always done a good job of that, And so, again, we didn't get it done as a team there in the second half.
Given the way camp was, how tight camp was, and that you were trying to focus on getting Joe ready, Finley must have had he didn't have much work, right? Zach, I'm sure he didn't have much work coming in.
He didn't get as much as you would normally get your number 2 quarterback. But you know what? It's where we're at right now. And so again, we just got to handle the situation that's been dealt us and make the most of it and go get ready to win a game next weekend.
Zach, this is probably the easiest second guess in the world, but I got to ask it, and I apologize in advance. Did you feel that you were rolling the dice at all this year, starting Joe Burrow, and was there ever any consideration given in August to sit him for at least for a while during the season and let him watch a little bit?
No, because he showed that he was mentally ready to go right from the get-go, even from the summer Zoom meetings, the work we got. I mean, if you just – for those of you that were at practice and felt the energy of the team when he was our quarterback moving the ball, you felt like we could have a lot of success. And he's given us a chance and most of all these games. He's done what he could do in the fourth quarter there to drive us down. And sometimes we just haven't gotten the win. But got a lot of belief in Joe. And whenever he's back, we'll be ready for him to come.
I wasn't necessarily talking about Joe. I was talking about the line in front of him.
No, I thought really we had no sacks in the first half there. Paul, I think the last couple of weeks, the line's done a good job of keeping people off them. I know we had 4 against Pittsburgh last week, 2 of them at the end of the half. I think they've been moving in the right direction. So the second half here today, these guys teed off. They got a 2-score lead. They got great front. They got 5 guys that can really rush the passer. They got a 2-score lead there against the backup quarterback, and they teed off, and that's where they got their pressures there.
Zach, you ended up starting Hakeem today at right tackle, and I believe you ended up going back to Bobby at the end. I mean, what I know that did you feel like Hakeem played well enough to kind of earn the start last week? What into that decision?
Yeah, Bobby was coming off that injury, the last couple of weeks, and so we felt like Hakeem had done a good job, and just decided to put him at the right tackle today. But again, Bobby's done everything he can to get himself back in shape to play football for us.
I know you mentioned you didn't have a great view of the play where Joe Burrow got hurt, but do you feel like that can be categorized as a freak play where maybe you couldn't have done anything differently?
Yeah, I mean, he got the ball out clean, so it's hard for me to see when that hit came, but I know at the point that he made the throw, he was clean.
The team was clearly concerned after Joe Burrow was injured. What message, if you can tell us, did you give to your team in the locker room after a game like that when, you suffer such a big injury?
That's really just for us, and it is a tough – we felt like we had a lot of momentum coming out of halftime, expected to win the football game. We didn't. There's a lot of disappointment, but I expect our guys to handle it the right way.
Coach, you went back to Bobby there in the middle of the third quarter. Was what was the reason for that? Was that because you knew they were going to be coming?
Just a decision we made there late in the game.
Zach, obviously this entire season was kind of catered around the rebuilding process and kind of seeing what you had in Joe. What do you do now? What is the objective of this year now that Joe is not on the field and cannot, develop until he gets healthy again?
The objective is to go win. And that's been the objective since day one, regardless of who's playing on the field for you. We got to do more to win football games. We have not won enough. And, it's I tell these guys, I love going to battle with these guys. I really do. Because they give us everything they got. And today was a disappointing day for all of us. But, Ben, to answer your question, the goal is to go win football games next week.
Two more minutes for Coach here.
If this ends up being Joe Burrow, go ahead.
That could you have done more to protect Joe? It's easy to second guess in these type of situations, but over the course of the season and the way you guys handled everything, could you have done more to protect him?
It's hard for me because you look at these. All we can do is make progress as the season goes, and we gave up a lot of pressure early in the season. In these last couple of weeks, our guys have done a great job of keeping people off Joe. He's had a great pocket. He did not have a sack in the first half, and the hit, as I saw it, wasn't when he had the ball in his hand. And so, people keep talking about the offensive line without it seemingly watching the film from the last 4 weeks. And so, again, those guys have done a good job. It's been a revolving door of players. They're doing a great job. Joe's done a good job moving us down the field. And we felt like we were making a lot of progress over the last 5 weeks. And we're not going to apologize for any of that.
If this is it for Burrow this season, theoretically, can you just reflect on what he did in such a challenging rookie year?
Yeah, he handled everything like a professional from day one. And to be voted a captain just speaks everything you need to know about the guy. And that the players have responded to him, the coaches have responded to him, the city has responded to him, and all that is equally as important, And so, again, he energizes this team, and he's been a tremendous player, everything we hoped he'd be. And we'll get him back at some point. We don't know when that is, but for now, we gotta transform that energy and put it somewhere else in this team. And again, we got plenty of guys we can rely on. I thought our defense showed us some really good stuff today in some areas. We didn't do enough in the second half on offense, So they got us some stops where you got to transfer that and go down and score points and regain that momentum. And we didn't do that today. And so again, it was just we weren't solid enough in all three phases to come out of here with a win.
One last question for Coach.
Coach, the entire team came off the sideline to basically give Joe their best wishes as he was on that cart. The Washington football team players came off their sideline to do the same thing. Does that tell you everything you need to know about Joe, I guess?
It sure does. There's a tremendous amount of respect for him, and it was unfortunate to see what happened.
Coach, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.